Some stories are meant to frighten, a whisper in the dark to keep you up at night. Others, however, linger long after the story ends, long after you've turned out the lights. Eyeless Jack is one of those stories, with hollow sockets that bleed tar and a reputation for stealing organs. Jack's legend has endured for over a decade, inspiring countless tales and cementing his place as one of the most infamous figures in internet horror. But who, or what, is Eyeless Jack? What are his origins? What are his motives? And what is it about him that makes his legend so chilling even after all these years? Prepare yourself, because tonight we unravel the haunting mystery of Eyeless Jack, one shadow at a time. Eyeless Jack is one of the most recognizable figures in the realm of creepypasta. His defining characteristics, a dark hoodie, a featureless mask, and empty bleeding eye sockets, make him both instantly memorable and endlessly unsettling. But Jack isn't just a figure of fear because of how he looks. His actions are what truly define him. Unlike many other horror figures, Jack doesn't rely on brute force or overt violence. Instead, he preys on his victims with a terrifying mix of stealth, precision, and something that borders on surgical expertise. Eyeless Jack's calling card is organ theft. Victims of Jack's attacks wake up to find fresh surgical scars and realize, to their horror, that an organ, most commonly a kidney, has been removed. The operation is always flawless, as if performed by a master surgeon, but without any of the equipment or conditions you'd expect from an operating room. There's no anesthesia, no struggle, no memory of the attack, just the scars, and the creeping fear of knowing that Jack was there. The first story of Eyeless Jack appeared online in the early 2010s in a creepypasta titled simply Eyeless Jack. The narrative followed a young man named Mitch, who moves in with his brother Edwin in a quiet, unassuming town. Mitch's life takes a dark turn when he wakes up one morning with a searing pain in his side. At first, he chalks it up to nothing more than a bad night's sleep. But when the pain worsens, he decides to visit the hospital, where doctors reveal a horrifying truth. One of his kidneys is missing. What's strange is how clean the wound is. There's no sign of infection, no indication of struggle, just a perfectly healed incision. This revelation sends Mitch spiraling into paranoia as he begins to suspect that something, or someone, is targeting him. The story reaches its terrifying climax when Mitch comes face to face with Eyeless Jack, a tall, humanoid figure dressed in a black hoodie, his face obscured by a featureless mask. But the most horrifying detail is his eyes, or the lack of them. Hollow, bleeding sockets stare back at Mitch, and the sight is enough to freeze him in terror. The story ends ambiguously, leaving readers to wonder what became of Mitch and whether Eyeless Jack continues to stalk the unsuspecting. Jack's appearance is simple, yet profoundly unsettling. He wears a black hoodie, its fabric frayed and stained with what looks like blood. His mask is smooth, featureless, and impossibly white, creating a stark contrast to the shadows that seem to follow him wherever he goes. But the most striking part of Jack's appearance is his eyes, or more accurately, the absence of them. His empty sockets bleed a thick, tar-like liquid, which drips down his face and onto his clothing. What is this liquid? Theories abound. Some suggest it's blood, corrupted by whatever supernatural force sustains him. Others believe it's something far darker, a manifestation of his cursed existence, or even a substance tied to his powers. The liquid has become a hallmark of Jack's legend, appearing in almost every depiction of him. It's a detail that sticks with you, a visual that perfectly encapsulates the horror of what Eyeless Jack represents. Eyeless Jack's abilities make him a force to be reckoned with. Let's break them down, one by one. Number 1, supernatural stealth. Jack can infiltrate homes with ease, bypassing locks and alarms without leaving a trace. Victims often wake up with no memory of his presence, only to find evidence of his handiwork the next morning. Number 2, surgical precision. Jack's ability to remove organs is nothing short of supernatural. His incisions are clean, almost as if performed by a skilled surgeon. Yet, there's no sign of tools, anesthesia, or struggle. Number 3, fear induction. Many accounts suggest that Jack's mere presence is enough to instill paralyzing fear. Victims often describe an overwhelming sense of dread or the feeling of being watched before an attack. Number 4, persistence. Once Jack targets a victim, he doesn't stop. He returns night after night, taking what he wants piece by piece. Number 5, the black liquid. The tar-like substance dripping from his sockets isn't just unsettling, it's potentially dangerous. Some theories suggest it has toxic or hallucinogenic properties, which could explain why victims often report feeling disoriented or unable to move during an attack. One of the most fascinating aspects of Eyeless Jack's legend is the mystery surrounding his origins. Over the years, fans have developed countless theories to explain who or what Jack is. The cursed surgeon. One of the most popular theories suggests that Jack was once a surgeon, cursed after performing unethical experiments or botched procedures. His organ theft could be an echo of his past life, a compulsion driven by whatever force cursed him. The demon theory. Another common theory is that Jack isn't human at all. Instead, he's a demon or otherworldly entity, feeding on human organs to sustain himself or as part of a darker ritual. The revenge tale. Some interpretations cast Jack as a tragic figure, a man wronged in life who now seeks revenge in death. His organ theft could be symbolic, a way of taking from others what was taken from him, a manifestation of fear. Perhaps Jack isn't a physical being at all. Some believe he's a manifestation of fear itself, a shadowy figure that preys on the anxieties and vulnerabilities of his victims. These theories add depth to Jack's legend, allowing fans to interpret his story in their own unique ways. Since his debut, Eyeless Jack has become a cornerstone of creepypasta culture. His simple, yet terrifying design, combined with the mystery of his origins, has made him a favorite among horror fans. Jack's influence extends beyond the original story. He's appeared in fan fiction, artwork, and even video games. He's been paired with other iconic creepypasta figures, like Slender Man and Jeff the Killer, creating a shared universe of internet horror. But what makes Jack truly enduring is his ambiguity. Unlike other monsters, Jack's motives and backstory are deliberately vague, allowing fans to project their own fears and interpretations onto him. This makes him a deeply personal nightmare, one that feels uniquely tailored to each individual. It's easy to dismiss Eyeless Jack as just another internet creation, but there's something about his story that feels plausible. The idea of an intruder who steals organs without leaving a trace taps into a very real fear, the fear of vulnerability, of being violated in your most private moments. Over the years, there have been numerous reports of strange occurrences that bear similarities to Jack's attacks. Missing organs, unexplained scars, and sightings of shadowy figures have all been documented, though none have been definitively linked to Jack. Could these be coincidences? Or is there some truth to the legend? We may never know. Eyeless Jack is more than just a creepypasta. He's a reflection of our deepest fears. The fear of the unknown, the fear of losing control, and the fear of being watched. Whether he's a cursed man, a demon, or something else entirely, one thing is certain: Jack's legend will continue to haunt the darkest corners of the internet for years to come. So, the next time you wake up feeling uneasy, remember this: the shadows might be hiding more than just darkness.